The thing about Syria's President Assad is he's a sort of accidental despot. He was training to be an ophthalmologist at the Western Eye Hospital in London when his brother was killed in a car crash, meaning he had to go home and inherit the family business of iron-fisted bastarding. It's basically a rags-to-wanker story. But despite being roundly condemned as horrible and ruthless, he's sort of awkward and gawky-looking, the least physically terrifying villain since Count Duckula. In fact, I can't quite work out which non-threatening thing he most looks like. He's a bit like Lord Percy from Blackadder or Nicholas Lyndhurst playing a French postman. Sometimes he looks like he's played by Odo off the entertaining Deep Space Nine. Until recently, we were told Assad was the most evil thing in existence, but he's been usurped of late by ISIS. The whole thing is just like the marvellous 80s parable Superman 2. Lex Luthor, that's Assad, he was the main bad guy until General Zod and co show up, being even more evil than him. And they wear black, just like ISIS. It's the same. Recently, the BBC's Jeremy Bowen, very much the Terry Wogan of the apocalypse, caught up with President Assad, meeting him in a plush palace for a chat so he could get to know the real monster.
Jeremy, you have tried for a very long time to get this interview. Why has he agreed to give it to you now?
Maybe he's got a new album out. During the interview itself, it was immediately apparent Assad doesn't just look non-threatening, he sounds non-threatening too.
What about barrel bombs? You don't deny that your forces use them?
I know about the army. They use bullets, missiles and bombs. I haven't heard of army using barrels or maybe cooking pots.
You know, hearing and seeing him, he's a bit like Andy Kaufman's Latka character from the feel-good sitcom Taxi.
Hi, Latka. What'd you do today?
Oh, meet girl, marry her, she leave me. It was fun.
Although that's where the similarities end, because Latka, to my knowledge, was never accused of being a genocidal tyrant who killed and starved his own civilians.
And that, again, is against the laws of war, starving civilians.
That's not correct for one reason, because in most of the areas where the rebels take over, the civilians fled and come to our areas. Very simple.
Wait a minute, no, he's that bloody meerkat from that irritating advert, isn't he?
Simple. Simple.